Welcome to my nightmare.
Wow. This is great. I love this place. Whoa, that's a biggie. Don't kill yourself, Sheldon.
Looks like there could be a few dead pickers.
Whoa.
And what you got to do is to kiss the codfish. Kiss it anywhere you like.
Yeah, it's in Lunenburg. I was told it was 100 years old.
That's the holy grail of nautical items.
Looks like it's a bit naughty. A fairly large erotic form.
Oh yeah, I love the size of this.
If it hits our color, we pay 3.
The only thing I like is a camel.
It's gonna be great. I'm Scott Cousins,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and barns. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us. First time in Newfoundland for me.
First time in Newfoundland for me, but you know, I already know I like it.
We've always had sort of a special bond, I think, Newfoundlanders with Alberta. You know, we're still from away, but we're not from Toronto.
Oh, St. John's is beautiful, isn't it?
This is the most amazing port I've ever been in. This is where they went out, brought the fish back in, they cleaned it, they salted it. I mean, this is history right here. This is Canadian history.
Newfoundland history. So what have we got lined up on the picks?
We're starting in St. John's, and we got to get over to Portugal Cove. Then we're going to scoot around to Port of Grave. I think
Wow.
we're seeing Ross there.
I'm excited. This is going to be great. Let's go.
Yeah, and you know the deal. We're outside of the prairies. You're navigating, and I'm driving.
Who said that?
I think that was the deal we had. You might not remember. You'd had a couple pints that night.
Going to see Elizabeth, who's the only certified art appraiser on Newfoundland.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We don't get into that kind of thing very often. But we both love art. We both have nice collections, actually. It's been a while since we've done a little bit of an art pick.
Yeah, you see a piece here, a piece there, but we're going to see lots of art here today.
It's a little unusual for us. We'll take a chance, see what we find.
Hey, that's Elizabeth right there, I bet. Let's go meet her.
You must be Elizabeth.
I am. Hi.
Scott, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome,
Good
Scott.
morning. I'm
And Sheldon.
Sheldon. Yeah.
Welcome.
Nice day.
Wonderful day.
We hear you have art.
Do we ever? My son Brian works with me.
Let's see what you got.
Well, come on in.
She is such a bubbly individual. You can tell we're going to have some fun here.
Oh.
Wow, you've got art everywhere.
We have. It's piled on the walls. It's hung on the walls. It's everywhere.
You need more walls.
We do. We need more space.
Yeah.
You even got one with a price up there.
Well, everything has a price.
And everything's negotiable, right?
Oh, right. Well, my son Brian and I have been working together in the art business for nearly 20 years. I have a love of Newfoundland art. I wish I were a billionaire so that I could buy all the pieces that I want to buy. We have kind of no control over what comes in because it comes on consignment from estates, people downsizing, and so on. Leaf through anything. That's what it's here for.
I see a ton of art stacked up against the walls. We're hoping that we get a shot at some art at wholesale prices.
That oil has a good feel to it.
It's a lovely piece.
Maybe we can find a piece of local, well-known art that we can take back and make money on.
Isn't that interesting?
Newfoundland art is strong. There are large numbers of collectors. As far as style is concerned, we see everything from minimalist to many things that are abstracted these days.
That's a good Newfoundland scene, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? So, Reginald Shepherd's Serigraph.
Some Newfoundland artists are very hot right now. So if we can find a piece like that at a reasonable price, we can make money on it. Well, I see that Newfoundland 10-cent piece, and that's a really cool
That's just
piece.
a classic, isn't
Christopher
it?
Pratt,
Yeah.
one of our top artists.
And
Right.
that's a bit atypical for him.
Until 1949, Newfoundland was its own separate country, had its own currency, its own postage stamps, and they were very, very visually appealing. What would something like that sell for?
Well, for now, probably 3,000 to 3,500.
That's a really good image, but you know, the problem is it's probably got a better market value here than when we take it back to Alberta. I'm just feeling Elizabeth out.
You could access a lot of Newfoundland people in Calgary and Fort McMurray, though.
There's no moss growing underneath Elizabeth.
I see something really neat.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Bingo! I see a fabulous panorama.
That's an old photograph of the Hudson Bay Station. This is 1935. My uncle had a distinguished career with the Hudson's Bay.
That's a winner. Anytime, any day. It told you it was from Cartwright, Labrador. That's the difference between it being just a nice picture and a historical picture. Is it okay if we pull stuff out to the living room? It's a little bigger there.
When my son Brian comes, he'll look after all those prices.
I'm still back digging around, and Elizabeth calls us out in a sort of voice that tells us she needs us there right away.
Scott, Sheldon.
Immediately, I know what's going on, and I don't want any part of it.
See, what we do here, we've got a ceremony. What you got to do right now, boys, is to get rid of the Calgary hats. Well, anybody who comes to Newfoundland who is interested in the culture and the people, and we think they'd make a good honorary Newfoundlander or Labradorian, we'll screech them in.
You're a good-looking man in a hat like that, man.
He's a good-looking man in a hat like... We are both good-looking men in a hat like this. Our ancient reason for being here in Newfoundland was the codfish. And what you got to do is to kiss the codfish. And I got one right here for you. Oh, boy, have I got one.
The problem is, Sheldon, you got to kiss it right there.
You can kiss it anywhere you like.
Can I just blow it a
No,
kid?
you gotta get down and go.
Okay, come on, be a man.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, there you go. Look,
There
he
you go.
did it.
Is it a fresh codfish?
Yes, it's a fresh cod out of the water. Oh.
I'm a rookie. In retrospect, I should have given it an air kiss because I gave it a good smack, a slimy kind of a thing.
Perfect. My God, was that good. Now, there's another part of this.
I know what the other part is.
You got to drink our special beverage. It's called Screech. Yes, click up and drink up, boys. Oh my God, your honorary Newfoundlanders, welcome to the clan, welcome to the crew, and welcome to the province. Sure, we're so glad you're here.
I can feel it going down.
I bet you can.
But it took the cod off my lips, so...
Well, that's the whole idea.
I'm thinking setup. She's liquored us up, and the son is on his way to do the negotiating. Hi, Brian. I'm Sheldon.
This is Sheldon.
Scott,
This is
how are you?
Pleased to meet you.
Brian does all the negotiations, and they'll negotiate with him. I think he's fairly tough, but he wants to make a deal.
So where were you out and about to?
I had to bring some more artwork because I didn't think there was enough here.
Yeah. Scott and I have laid out several pieces that we want to inquire about price-wise.
This piece here.
Danielle Laronge had a studio just outside of town somewhere for a while.
What would something like that sell for?
$1,000.
That's too much for me. I liked it just as an image, but
Yeah.
so I'll go hang it back on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
The prices were just a little too steep for resale for us.
I want to ask you a little bit about this map. It's a French map of Newfoundland.
It's probably between 1820 and 1850. It is printed off a plate, but I think it's hand-colored.
Now, what would you need out of that? That's the question. This is a consignment piece, right?
Yeah, I had $350 for it.
Which is like way
Way
too
too
much.
much.
Well, I think you better just tell us what the cheapest you could go on this thing.
He has to have 200.
Yeah, see, I don't think
we're
we can
out.
sell it for more than 200. That's
Yeah.
the problem. I would have liked to got it for like 150 because you're essentially paying 50 for the piece, 100 for the frame.
Yes.
Yeah.
You sell it for 2 1/4. But if
Yeah.
he needs 200, we're done.
He needs 200.
Maybe I'll ask you about this little watercolor.
Yeah. This
Kind of fun.
Obviously in desperate need of reframing.
Well, you know me. I like the dancing girl, Scott.
Oh, of course.
Little Moulin Rouge. What would you want for that?
$50 range, $40.
40 it is. Done. I just bought a little watercolor. Now the ball is rolling. Hard to lose on that one.
That's a funny one.
It's a watercolor. It's a
Good piece.
Good piece. It's
Yeah.
very
It's-
well done.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah. Now, I know this is one you guys wanted to see.
Oh.
This is the Mary Pratt.
It's her sketch of kittens.
It's atypical for her, right? It's not an ultra realist or super
No.
realist style.
No,
It's
that's
not?
right.
We want to walk away with that piece if the price is right. Now, what would something like that sell for?
I would like to get, $500 kind of thing, but, we are open to offers.
Yeah, I was
on a
going to
lot
say,
of
you'd
things.
like to get $500.
Yeah, I'd like to get $500.
And I'd like to win the lottery, but it ain't going to happen today.
I would like to pay I'd like to pay 3. Can we do 350?
Do 350.
Oh.
Done.
Oh, hey, that's really
thank
good.
you.
Yeah, that's really good.
That piece is worth at least that much, probably double that much. Now, I got to talk to you about the photo that I saw. I love panoramic photos. What would you need out of this photo?
Well, I was hoping for 200 out of that one.
You're tough.
I know.
How much would you need out of this, Brian? I'd rather be dealing with Brian than Elizabeth right now. She's a little tougher than him.
But it's mine.
Less than that, but it's hers.
What do you think about $100?
Well, that's not enough.
I tried.
Good try.
How about if we split it at 150?
How about we do this? How about 150 bucks and you throw in the candy? Is that
What do you
good?
think? Is that okay? Can we do that?
I'm
You
sure
okay
we
with
can.
that?
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, well, we've done it.
My kids are gonna love the cookies, and we'll make money on the Labrador photo.
Nice, colorful watercolor.
And who doesn't like dancing girls? That's a winner, anytime, any day. We bought a Mary Pratt. It's not every day you get to buy a Mary Pratt. So this is a good day for us.
I got to give you a hug. You're
Oh,
so
give me
great.
a hug.
I want a
Thank
piece
you.
of that action.
Okay. Oh, it's great to have you. Bye. Take care.
Scott and I have had a chance to look through a lot of Newfoundland art. Well, that was a lot of fun. What a good sport, Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For Brian and me, the day has gone just wonderfully. We've enjoyed it enormously. And they're good at this job. Hey.
I'm happy with our purchases.
I am too. I don't think we can get hurt on any of those pieces. I'm always surprised by how gracious everyone we see is.
Yeah, lovely. So we're off to see John in Portugal Cove. He sounds like an interesting guy. He's a poker player.
Oh, yeah? See how the negotiations go then.
John lives in an old church, and he's motivated. He's moving to BC to be closer to his kids.
So he's got to clear everything out of the church?
That's the intent.
Wow.
Our timing is perfect. Could be our lucky day.
This must be the place for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this stuff scattered all over the place. He's got a mural on the front of it. Wow. Hey, look, a couple of cats. They're having a scrap right there.
Let's go meet John. Never knocked on a church door before. Hi, you'd be John.
Yes, I am.
Sheldon.
Pleased to meet you.
And Scott.
Good to meet you, John.
Wow, what an incredible place you have.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Wow. Oh, John.
You got stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. When the wind would blow through here, everything moves. It's alive.
So what's that, some sort of jig?
Yeah, that's a squid jigger.
Pretty vicious looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting that out of your mouth when you suck it.
Look at this. This is interesting. Instead of Canada Dry, it's American Dry.
In St. John's.
St. John's.
Yeah. Where are you finding things?
Locally, yeah, within 100 miles. I consider myself a picker. It sort of started, I guess, in my grandfather's barn in PEI. And he had a lot of old jugs because he was a bit of a moonshiner. And then eventually I got into the restaurant business, and it was the cheapest, nicest way to decorate a restaurant was with just interesting objects. And when I was done with the restaurant business, it seemed pretty obvious that picking is something that is a bit more fun. The hunt is the key.
Something else interesting here, too. It's a microphone of some sort. You ever seen one,
Probably
Sheldon?
right.
Oh, really unusual.
Hello, hockey fans in Canada, the United States, and Newfoundland.
Yeah.
This is where we want to be. Everything's sort of just jumbled about. There's good stuff in showcases, there's bad stuff in showcases. So we should be able to make some good bargains today.
Is that a shark's jaw right there?
It is actually, yeah.
Found locally?
Yes, yeah. That actually bit the guy, if his story was true when he sold it to me.
Really?
Because he did have a huge scar on his arm.
Hey, Scott, check that out.
What kind of shark would that be?
It's a mako shark, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's one of the fastest sharks in the ocean, I think.
If we're going to take something back to Alberta, I want it to be a shark jaw. What would you want for something like that?
I'd like to get 40 for it.
How's 30?
35 is my lucky number.
That'll get the ball rolling.
So,
That's a good piece to start with a soup broth, and then we'll sell the jaw afterwards. Oh, Scott, you got to see this. Homemade furniture at its finest. Look what they've used for drawers.
Yeah.
Cod fillets.
Not just that, it's Hubei cod fillets.
Yeah.
the reason why I'm selling off my collection of stuff is that I made a big decision to move out to Vancouver. My kids are living out there.
Ah, okay.
And they're not coming back, so I guess I got to go out there.
He wants to lighten the load. I'm anticipating we have an extremely motivated seller. What he doesn't sell to us, he's got to haul across the country.
What's the beacon from?
That's off an old ship. Yeah, that was like a spotlight. This is probably, early electric, I guess.
Yeah. What kind of bulb goes in it? In recent times, decorators have been going to industrial design. That's going to be a real funky thing for somebody to put on their wall in a loft or in a big new modern house. What would you sell something like that for? You're taking too long.
To get 60 bucks.
Sheldon, what do you think? I was thinking more like 40 bucks, but...
Yeah, 40 sounds good to me.
Actually, 40 sounds real good to me, too. Sold. Don't even want to negotiate that one. Because somebody will love it, but...
And it's big for you to move, right?
It is definitely too big.
I see something I like.
Yeah.
Hey, you found some granite. I love old curling stones.
10 years ago, I used to find a set a year at a garage sale, but
Really?
I haven't seen a set for 5 years.
That's the only ones I've ever gotten.
They're pigs, though.
You know what I like about them? Is they're honestly used.
I'll give them to you for half what I paid for them.
And what did you pay for them?
200.
You paid 200.
You got it. Normally, I'm the one who's picking, so now I'm getting picked.
I used to buy these things for $5 and $10 and sell them for 25 bucks.
It's just a matter of how good can they pick me.
So I think at 50 bucks a throw, we can probably do it.
Okay.
Done, and I'm really happy with those. So here we are on the rock, and we're buying rocks, granite rocks, and good ones.
Look at this. This is interesting. Now, these aren't sugar molds.
No, they're actually cod jigger molds.
Oh, so those little cod jiggers like this that we see, that's how you make them?
Yeah. If you notice, all my pots there are hanging on jiggers, and each one of these jiggers is different. Yeah, they're all from a different community.
Hey, that's a great thing to do with them.
Yeah, isn't that smart?
And the light bulb goes off, we can take those back to Calgary and we can market them the same way he's using them. What would you need out of some jiggers?
I'd take $10 a piece for them.
If we were to buy like more than 5, could we get them for 8 a throw?
If I've actually got more than 5.
Okay, well, let's see what we can do.
Okay, we'll have a look.
Give ourselves 5 minutes, see how many we can each find.
All right, well, I just spotted one.
There's one. That's a Norwegian one, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah, it's different.
Any bonus points for a good-looking one?
Oh, there's a few here. There's another one.
We've owned jigs before. Never thought of using them as hooks.
Oh, there's another one, a little guy.
Well, that for sure doesn't count.
Sheldon tried, of course, to change the rules as we went along.
What about a treble hook?
Well, a treble hook's a good one.
Treble's double.
But he tried to suggest because his had 3 hooks, it was worth twice as much as all of mine. I think you might be running out of time here. So I think I got more than you. You think? Well, I clearly
And
won.
if you're going cod fishing, here. Sew that in, good luck.
How you making out there?
We did okay, actually. In terms of good ones, we got 11. Then we got the 3 on the reels. Here's what I'm thinking. You said $8 a throw.
Yeah.
How about 100 and a quarter for everything?
Sold.
Done.
We're in the cod
Thank you,
business.
sir. We're in the
fishing
cod business, yeah.
Yeah, is that a good
All it's
thing?
got to do now is rent a boat.
Yeah.
why don't you give us a show upstairs, see what's up there.
Okay, let's go up and have a look.
Wow. Is this where you live?
Yes, yeah.
Check this out, Scott.
Oh, this is great.
This is the ultimate, isn't it?
I love this place. I could live here.
Yeah. It's loaded with stuff, and these things are a little closer to John's heart. This is where he lives. Hey, Scott, take a look at the Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah, it's a roulette game.
But it's
weird.
It's German. Scott and I have seen a lot of gaming devices, but to find the Moulin Rouge in Newfoundland, it just doesn't make sense.
I think it's partly the war connection between Newfoundland. We had a lot of, soldiers per capita.
Right.
Right.
You might have brought that back from Germany as a souvenir.
That's what I'm guessing.
So what would you sell something like that for?
I was offered 5 for it.
But I don't know. We could roll the dice on roulette here.
We could even put 100 of it on a spin. I like to play a bit of poker, yeah. It's like this is all gambling.
Oh, gosh, I don't want to do this.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't want to. Because here's what I'd suggest. You may not like it.
No.
But if we pick, say, green, if it hits our color, we pay 3. If it hits your color, we pay 5. If it hits neither of our colors, we pay 4.
Whoa.
That's an interesting deal. Okay, I guess we got a game because anything I like is a gamble.
Money down, hands back.
I'm gonna pick red. Okay, who wants to put the quarter in?
You can. It's your machine. You
yeah.
do it.
My gamble? Okay.
Yeah.
And away we go. Come on, red. Go red.
Go green. Go green.
Red,
Go
red,
green.
red. Come on. Just pushing the button. Come on, red. For $100 with somebody who you know likes to gamble as much as you do.
Green. Oh, here's the part I really like.
It's gonna be red.
It's gonna be green.
Green.
Oh. Yellow.
Yellow. It's 400.
400.
4 it is.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was an absolute laugh, actually.
Double or nothing?
No.
John's having some fun, we're having some fun, and that's going to help in our negotiations.
Hey, John, you got some photos.
Yeah, there's some photos I got off an antique dealer from here who retired.
And are they Newfoundland or are they?
Yes, yeah.
They look like they're reprints from the original negative, but they've got some just great images on them.
Look at this. This is a sod house.
Yeah, it's amazing how they lived, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at this one.
Is that the fire?
That's after the Great Fire.
So what would you want for these photos, John?
The last couple I sold for 15.
15 times 7.
Lucky 7 with the nun. Every Catholic boy's nightmare.
So that would be, I don't know, what would we do, 75 on the lot?
That's good.
Done.
Sold.
Perfect. We're looking for Newfoundland history. That picture alone threw $75. We shook on that real quick.
That's
nice.
a beauty. Yeah, it's from Lunenburg,
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
It's a ship's wheel. That's the holy grail of nautical items.
It took me a long time to get that off the guy who owned that one.
Is that right?
That's the only brass ship's wheel I've had in 25 years of this.
Yeah, that is a beauty.
I was told it was 100 years old, and that was 10, 15 years ago.
Would you part with that?
If the price was right.
I know that ship wheel's the best thing that we can buy today and take back to Calgary. What would you need out of something like that?
I was trying to get 8 for it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that John would part with the wheel in the first place.
It's a bit steep.
Yeah, I don't know. In Toronto, that wheel would be $1,200, $1,400 minimum. I know that.
Because if I owned it, I would never part with it. I love it. Would you take 5?
Started pretty high there, bud.
Yeah.
I think we should do the roulette
Yes.
wheel. Oh,
I will.
great.
Sold.
And I hate to break it to you, but you do own it, and you are going to sell it.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm really happy with that.
Good.
I own half of it, and I'm keeping my half. Lunan.
Okay.
Treat.
Good. It was
It was a lot of
fun.
fun. We had a great time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweep.
I love curling stones or anything winter sport related. We've lightened John's load by several hundred pounds. We're gonna do well. John's moving along, clearly. That wheel could be one of our big scores today. Thanks, John.
Hopefully we'll meet
Great
again
meeting you.
somewhere
Yeah.
along the trail.
Stop out in Calgary on your way to BC,
I will.
and we'll see you again. Thanks a lot.
Happy travels.
Okay.
Good guy.
Good pick. I'm thinking of becoming an Anglican. We did some really good picking in an Anglican church today, and we met a new friend. He's another guy like us. It's not all about money, it's about the love of the stuff and the relationships you develop along the way.
I love a ship's wheel.
Oh, that was a beaut.
So that was good timing. It's a great day for picking.
Wow, this is amazing. It looks like British Columbia here.
We got some great names around here. Pick Eyes, just over beyond Blow Me Down.
Around the corner from Dildo and Conception Bay.
So we're going to see Ross, who's a picking legend in this part of Newfoundland.
He's the picker's picker.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
He's the guy that the pickers pick from.
But he wants to get out of the business, so that should be an edge.
Yeah, wow, this is quite the
Great.
fishing community.
Right down by the docks here. Wow, look at all the lobster traps.
Oh yeah, they got the new and the old. Here we are.
This should be interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, you would be Ross.
Welcome to Portygrave.
Hey, Scott, how are you? So how long you been here?
All my life so far.
Is this the shed where you hold everything?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, show us
We'll
around.
follow you in.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Well, you've got lots of stuff here, and we hear that you're a picker.
I was a serious picker. I used to go practically all over Newfoundland. I spent almost 30 years teaching, routine, and once you got out picking, you could travel all over the place. You were sort of free. There was no school bills, and it was great. But I'm not getting any younger, and it's time to move some of it.
Like that, Shell. Take a look at that.
I'm blown away by how much merchandise Ross has.
He's trying to simplify, get rid of stuff, so we might be here at the right moment to get some really good deals. Is it okay if I do a little climbing?
Go right ahead.
Am I going to be able to stand on this? I hope. Don't kill yourself, Sheldon.
Looks like there could be a few dead pickers on the bottom here, Scott. Guys that never made it.
Whoa. There's two things we're looking at when we come here. One is something that we can sell easily no matter what. The other thing is Newfoundland-related memorabilia.
These are dip nets, right? It's got small mesh in it, so it's probably for dipping capelin.
The capelin's a little fish, right?
Yeah.
What would this be used for?
It could have been used for a mooring, right?
Somebody just jigged that up, didn't they?
Yeah, it's ingenuity.
Ingenuity out
Yeah.
of just scrap.
Yeah. They were self-reliant people. If they wanted to do something, they had to make the tool to do it.
What's the purpose of these two?
These are snowshoes.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow, was that ever crude?
Yeah, those are homemaders.
If they didn't do it themselves, who was going to do it for them? We were a British colony, and Britain was a long ways away.
What do you need out of these crates, Ross? These are all original to this area, right?
Yeah.
These are boxes we don't see in our marketplace at all. Really early tea boxes, most of them from probably the teens or the 20s or the 30s at the latest. You're up for some boxes, aren't you, Shell?
Oh, absolutely.
Decorators love boxes. Plus, there was a jumbo box. I've never seen a jumbo tobacco box. So if we put together a couple of these boxes, would you give us a little bit of a deal on them?
When you get it put together, then I can say.
So why don't I pull them out?
No, not that one right there.
Okay. Ross is a sort of an interesting guy. I don't know quite how to read him. He's got a bit of a grumpy look on.
Dump them out on the shelf.
I'll pull the ones I want. The nice thing about boxes is we can put stuff in them. There's a lot of stuff in these boxes.
These were what the sealers used on the hoist to stop from going snowblind. You know.
Seriously?
Yeah.
These ones are broke. Those are really interesting things that we can sell in our marketplace, and we can probably put a premium on them. And I'll put them in this black lead
Okay.
box as well.
This one right here, see these slits?
Yep.
A fisherman used it as a knife for sticking his
Knives in.
that he cleaned away his fish with, right?
Oh, right. I think I'm gonna grab this sunlight box because I like it. Okay, I think I've done as much damage as I can do in here. Okay, so I think we got our boxes. Let's see, we got 8 little ones, 3 big ones. What are we thinking? How about 100 and a quarter?
150.
You came back real quick with that one. Had you been thinking that?
Well, I am thinking. It's interesting playing the game in reverse, sort of.
Oh, 135.
Fine.
Thank you, sir. I still can't get a read on Ross. I can't tell whether he's mad at me or he thinks he's taking me to the cleaners.
I think Ross thinks he's taking these Alberta boys to the cleaners. Hey, Scott,
A lobster claw. Wow, that's a big one.
take
isn't
a
it?
look at the size of that guy.
What's that, about a 5-pounder maybe?
Probably more.
Yeah. That's an old lobster trap, that one up in the ceiling there, Shell. What would you say on that one, Ross?
25.
Would you throw in the claw?
Yes, why not?
Done. Good item to take back to Alberta, a good old lobster trap. And if Scott gives me a hard time, I'm gonna shove him in that lobster trap.
I'm gonna get you with the claw, though. See what else we find.
Is this where the skipper hangs out?
God, is that hilarious. The Buchanan Blend, finest selected old Scotch whiskey. Sole suppliers to the House of Commons. That's
I see it's
hilarious.
empty.
Yeah. What would you like for that bottle, Ross?
What's your offer?
I'd pay $10 just as a flask.
Well, then you can have it.
Okay.
If they see something they want, they're going to have it. I admire that quality.
Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's a cute little guy. Sheldon and I've learned in our travels that if you see an odd-colored bottle, take a closer look at it. Poison. Sure enough, it's iodine. It's got the skull and crossbones on it. How about $5 on the little guy?
Okay.
We're rolling upstairs already. Hey, Shell, we got a whole bunch of cod jiggers in here.
We're cornering the market, Scott.
Yeah, we bought a few of those the other day. How about 100 and a quarter for everything?
Sold.
Done.
We're in the cod
Thank you,
business.
sir. We're in the
fishing
cod business, yeah. Whoa, that's a biggie.
Yeah.
We've now realized you can make pot holders out of those. I'll tell you what we paid him. We paid him $8 a throw for these.
Yeah.
80, 104. I think this is exactly what we did with him, and we paid him 100 and... Shal, what did we pay, John? 125 bucks?
Yep.
125 bucks?
Okay.
Done.
These are sheets that the sealers made for our fishermen for their knives, right? And this right here was what was known as a stage lamp.
So would that be like whale oil in there?
That could be whale oil, could be seal oil. It's a different culture than what they're used to. You know, this is a fishing culture, outboard Newfoundland culture.
Are these just washing up on the shore, these floats?
They may have sometime, but fishermen use them for floats on the nets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they put netting around them, right? Some of them, right? Just 10 there, I think.
10 floats, a little box. Could we do 100?
Yeah, okay.
Done.
I think we've sort of turned the corner with Ross. He now realizes it's not all about making money off everything. We just love the stuff, we love the stories, we love the history. Whenever I see a house, I always have to ask, is there anything for sale in the house? And
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah.
he's letting us into the house, what we call the inner sanctum. That's where he's gonna keep the best things he's picked over 25, 30 years.
Wow, some good things in here.
Holy cow.
Got some treasures down here. All sorts of furniture, cabinets, several powder horns, and that's something in this part of the world, it's kind of a craft. When fellows are at sea, they'll carve into the powder horn.
I take it most of this stuff's personal collection for you.
Yeah,
I love this sea chest.
yeah. Right here, look, you can see where it was gnawed at by a rat.
Oh, yeah.
There must have been food in it at one stage, right? You know?
Right. Well, we don't have rats. Alberta is rat-free, except for us, right?
Yeah.
Is that something you'd move?
No.
I'm guessing that most of this stuff's not for sale unless the price is right because it's your personal collection, right?
Yeah, well, there's no price right when it comes to some of it, right?
Okay.
These are his better pieces, so we're gonna have to work a little bit harder. I've seen this flag a couple of times in the last few days. It's a Newfoundland flag,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's the provincial flag?
No. It was before Confederation, right?
What's that?
That's a ship's log. It was towed behind the ships, but you had to pull it in to read it.
And it's something that would have been towed behind the boat, and it would literally tell you how far you've gone. Really interesting. Look, turn of the century, maybe 1920s.
And is this another one over here?
There's a more modern version. You read it in the ship.
So what would something like this sell for?
I've heard of them being sold for $500.
Whoa. I sort of like the look of that one, Sheldon, don't you? They look like bombs.
What if we stuck our neck out and say went 2 on that one?
No, you won't get it today.
No?
I would sell them both for probably 600.
That's a toughie. I sort of look at this like making a putt in a golf game. It might break right or it might break left. It might be worth more in our market or it might be worth less. So I'm thinking at this point we should talk about packaging some stuff together and see if we can get the price down.
You've got powder horns. Would you part with any of your powder horns?
That storage on right there, I probably let that go.
I think I can see why. Looks like it's a bit naughty. There was a lot of fascination with erotica. I've seen these before. They do them with walrus tusks. They make naughty bits on the end of them. This is quite interesting. They would shape them in erotic forms. That one happened to be a fairly large erotic form.
This is for powder storage, isn't it?
I would say. I don't
Yeah.
think they'd carry it around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just grab a couple of other things and see if we can maybe put a package together. This is some interesting hand tool.
Yeah.
Really nice, finely made tools. Look at the old thread. That would be for a sale, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's a seam creaser, right, for pressing the stitching of the sail.
Oh. I'm really interested in old wood with a patina where somebody has used it for decades and decades and decades, worn it away, put their oils from their hands into it. This is a little cool little lot. When we come to Newfoundland, we're looking for Newfoundland items, things that tell the history of Newfoundland. Why don't we talk about a bulk buy on this stuff?
They're not items that we've seen before, but Scott and I know instinctively that's the sort of thing we want to take home with us. What would you take for all of it, Ross?
Say 1,100.
We're not trying to insult you.
No.
Well, I was thinking sort of 650 maybe.
And now we're doing the waltz.
950.
750.
Why don't we say 8?
Sounds good.
We're negotiating with ourselves now.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's
You
a
did a
good deal.
good job of negotiating there, buddy.
Yeah, you
You waited us out. We came here today looking for pieces that were representative of Newfoundland. The whole story came together today, and we were able to buy some of those pieces, and now we'll tell that story in Alberta. I know that's a good buy. There you go, bud. What's your favorite piece?
We're gonna sell it to a kinky gun collector.
Kind of a good-looking piece for a guy that likes Newfoundlandia.
These are great decorator-style boxes.
Thanks for showing us that Newfoundland hospitality.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
It was a lot of fun watching Ross warm up to us over the course of the day, and that's what makes a good day for us. We got some cool things, and we're coming back.
Great.
Thanks, Ross.
I could say that I thoroughly enjoyed it, without exaggeration. Happy picking.
Well, that was great. That was an amazing pick, wasn't it?
Yeah, what a good guy.
Yeah, it was so funny because at the start he was a little leery of us, I think.
I think he was sidling up to me, but he wasn't quite sure where
yeah,
you were
right,
coming
yeah,
from.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a couple of offlanders coming to pick his stuff.
So you got to be careful around here. There's lots of moose.
Caution, moose may wander onto highway.
Huge moose with a crunched car.
And the moose is just standing there looking at it and say, you want another? We're going to see the appraiser to get our ship's wheel appraised. I'm a bit nervous about it though, because we paid a lot of money for that. It's not a Newfoundland wheel, it's a Nova Scotia wheel, and we're taking it back to Alberta. This is a bit of a flyer for us, right?
The appraiser we're bringing it to wheels and deals and nautical items, so he should know.
He's right here. Here we go.
Hey, that's a lot of brass under here. Well, this should be interesting.
Yeah, maybe we can pick this place too. I already see something I like.
Hope he appraises it by the pound. Hey, you'd be Jerry.
It's me.
Jerry Scott, how are you?
Hi, Scott. Good.
And I'm Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Granny's Attic.
Yeah. We heard you know a lot about aquatic things, nautical things.
I specialize in Newfoundland items. I have a lot of nautical pieces. Anything Newfoundland. I've been doing it for some 20-odd years.
We brought you an item we thought you might be interested in.
Okay, let's
I
have a
think
look.
we got a good deal on it, but we always want to make sure.
We don't deal a lot in nautical, but we think we found a good item.
Wow.
There she be. We unveil the ship's wheel, and I can see Jerry's excited.
This is a magnificent piece.
Not strictly speaking a Newfoundland wheel.
We sailed a lot from here to Nova Scotia. Great thing about it, it's got all the markings. Lunenburg, the foundry, the name of the company, Nova Scotia, of course.
He loves that wheel. And what would you date this to?
I'd say 1850s to 1870 in that range.
Wow, that early.
He's been doing this a long time, buying and selling nautical items. He clearly knew this one.
Plays his cards a little close to his vest, but we could tell he was impressed with that ship's wheel.
I can sell one every day.
Is that right?
Really?
They're really hard to come by, and we have a want list,
Yeah.
and on it there's probably 10 or 12 at any given time.
Of guys looking for good ship's wheels.
Yeah, put them on their own vessels and to
Yeah.
make it look nice on their pleasure craft, that kind of thing.
This could be a score.
I was trying to get 8 for it.
Would you take 5?
Yes? So,
So without telling you what we paid for it, what do you think we could get for this if we sold it?
In this shop here, retail, we'd be asking from $1,200 to $1,500.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
There's
I'm shocked. I knew we did well buying that piece. Didn't think it was that good.
We could triple or quadruple up almost on this ship's wheel.
If you find it too heavy to take with you, I'll buy it.
That's going back to Alberta. Thanks, Jerry. Really good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Sheldon and I both loved that ship's wheel when we saw it. I love it even more now. We're gonna find a good home for it. Okay, let's keep going. Put her there. I was so happy when that number jumped out of his mouth. I just about jumped out of my shoe.
Fascinating part of the world.
The interesting thing is that we're not seeing any of the same old junk that we see all the time.
Yeah.
This is all oddball stuff.
Apparently around here, if you're one of the locals, they won't sell you anything. You have to be from away.
That's funny. That gives us an advantage. These cowboy hats don't get seen every day here.
In a leaky punt with a broken oar, it is always best to hug the shore.
That's a good one. Where'd you get that one from?
Yeah, old Newfoundland saying, apparently.
They're like, I is the buys that builds the boat, I is the buys that sails her. Yikes!
Yikes is right. I thought I'd seen it all, Scott. What about this barrel? One of us could go across the falls.
And I know which one of us is going.
Is this one of your most popular attractions? Yep. We're in the Funhouse business now.
What are we gonna do with this guy?
Put him on top of the truck.
So what would a bottle like that cost?
The bottle retails for $6,000.
6,000. Yeah. We'll do $200 on that.
No way, no way.
Check these out, Scott.
Wow, this is great.
That bike hadn't been ridden for a long time.
Whoa! I'm Scott Cousins,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and bars. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us.
I love Niagara Falls.
I do too.
Millions of people a year end up here.
Tourist heaven, isn't it?
That's the Horseshoe Falls right there.
Yeah, and then that's the American Falls over there.
That piddly little fall over there?
Exactly.
Too bad for them. Some good picking here in Niagara.
Oddball stuff, right?
Yeah,
Some carnival stuff, some fun stuff.
all over the map. Is this where we're going?
You got it. I know you love heights.
This is amazing. I love the mist coming off the falls.
Oh, yeah.
One of the natural wonders of the world. This is phenomenal.
Okay, I'm bored now. Get me down. Let's go picking.
Let's go picking. Going to see Charlie on Clifton Hill.
That's a strip. I still remember it from when I was a kid. It was like a carnival on the street without the carnival.
Right. This is going to be incredible. Charlie's family owns this whole strip here. Charlie's got so much stuff, and it's all connected by tunnels beneath the shops, all along this strip right here.
So we're supposed to meet him up by the haunted house. That's it right here.
Yep. Scott and I both like a little scare in the morning. I think we're in for a good day. Hey, are you Charlie?
Yeah, I'm Charlie.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hey, Charlie, Scott, how are you?
Scott.
So how did you end up with half of Clifton Hill?
My grandfather started it back in 1928, and then my father built it up, and my sister and I ended up with it a few years ago.
So we heard you got some tunnels underneath here.
Lots of tunnels. Up the road, about a block or two, we have a number of attractions, restaurants, retail stores.
So he takes us to the strip.
We're gonna see things that were in the Guinness Museum of World Records.
This looks like fun, Charlie. Is this one of your most popular attractions?
Yep, push the button.
Ooh, there he is.
The electric chair has been there for about 15 years, and it's done quite well.
You're watching just because you can't look away. A lot of people are intrigued by that sort of thing. Doesn't work for me.
We got a spare.
You got a spare?
We got a spare. How'd you like to own one?
That's not the kind of thing I want to buy. I'm afraid to move just in case he starts going again. In 3 months, he made $90,000.
A loony at a time, people wanted to see that thing. So where are we off to? The
Basement of the Niagara Clifton Family Restaurant.
Oh, perfect. This is dungeon-like.
Oh, yeah, we're
I like it.
Watch your step.
This is great. There's tunnels in here.
They keep acquiring more stuff. Just goes downstairs into the dungeons.
Oh,
Hey.
have you got stuff? Wow.
These are all the old pictures that came out of one of the old restaurants.
Just married.
Wonder if they're still married.
Yeah, right.
It's a waffle iron.
Oh,
They're making big waffles. They're worth about $4 grand.
awesome food.
Charlie's got so many little areas that we have to cover that Sheldon and I just decided to split up.
Wow, look at this guy. Did this come out of a pub or something?
Yeah, came out of the Jolly Brewer.
So that's what happens when you drink that much beer, eh? Charlie has a large carved piece of oak. What would you want for that, do you think?
I don't have a clue what that thing's worth.
How about 150?
How much does it weigh? $1 a pound?
About that.
Okay. All right, 100.
Done. Really good buy. I'm happy with that.
I'm hoping that just around the corner we're going to see something we like.
What about Victoria here? I spotted her. I don't know how saleable Victoria is, but it's a pretty nice frame. Would you part with her?
50 bucks.
50 bucks is fair. Sold. Great buy again. Hey, Scott, I'm making some headway here.
I'm frustrated. This is like being the first person at a garage sale, but there's nothing there.
I'm glad we got a couple things out of there.
I've already changed gears. It's apparent, and we're not buying volume here. So now we're looking for that one good item that makes the pick worthwhile. So Charlie, you got any other places for us to see?
Well, I got 3 big trailers.
Oh, hey.
God, we've been in these before, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'll check this one out. You check that one. Wow, this is great.
Where'd you get all this stuff, Charlie?
Oh, I've been collecting it for decades. Everything is one-off. Things that were in the haunted house, the Funhouse, Guinness Museum of World Records.
I work my way to the back, and I find this goofy bit of an airplane. This thing would have just hung on the wall as if a plane was coming out of the wall of the restaurant.
Yeah.
What would you sell that for?
Oh, 20 bucks.
20 bucks.
Good. Busty.
We'll take that one.
Okay.
I'm golden.
What about this barrel?
Beautiful oak barrel.
I know you got a piece of gear inside that.
I sell you the barrel, but the guts I need for my climbing man, the guy who goes up and down the Guinness sign.
So this is your spare?
This was the original one, and then we were having problems with it, so we bought a complete new unit, and so we keep the spare parts.
So the barrel's like $100 and the guts are 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take the barrel.
Okay. We needed Charlie's guys to help get that big piece of equipment out of the barrel.
That's a big piece of oak, isn't it?
So what do you want for it, Charlie?
Now that we got it out and you can't put it back in?
Yeah.
We got Charlie where we want him. What the heck's he gonna do with the barrel?
I don't know, 100 bucks.
We've got Charlie over a barrel, you might say.
75.
I was gonna say 50, but
Yeah.
50, you can have it for 50.
Done.
done. That's a great souvenir from Niagara. I want to go over the falls right now.
The barrel itself weighs a good 100 pounds. So as soon as I put Scott in, it's gonna sink right to the bottom.
There's something.
Hey, what you got back there?
There are a couple big old clowns.
Clown heads from Crystal Beach Amusement Park in Ridgeway, Fort Erie, Ontario.
They could be from the 60s.
Nah, 50s maybe.
These are huge clown faces. They would have sat on the side of show tents. These are real carnival things. They're not just modern-day knockoffs. I just don't see how I'm gonna get these babies out.
It's always the way. The good stuff that we're interested in is buried deep. We needed Charlie's guys to get those out.
It's fiberglass, it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm dating that to the 60s.
If you had a barn or a loft or a large wall that you really wanted an impact piece and you're inclined towards carnival things, that's the item. What would you want for one?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, coming up with a price.
What do you have into them?
About $1,000 for the two of them 25 years ago.
Wow, why would you step up that much?
When we stumbled across original Funhouse clowns, it's like, yeah, we gotta have them.
What would a guy have to pay for the Funhouse?
1,000.
Yikes. When he quotes $1,000 out of the gate, I'm a little concerned. He wants to get paid for both of them.
Yeah.
They're irreplaceable.
What'd you replace it with?
LCD TVs.
This was one of the rare things that Charlie was really attached to. But the good news was there's two of them. Would you take $500 for one of these?
No. 1,000.
Oh, come on.
Hard and fast.
Yep. I really didn't want to get rid of them, but they really wanted one. I said, okay, but I wasn't gonna just give it away.
We could maybe get 1,000 for it, but that doesn't leave us any money after we get it back to Calgary.
Yeah. How about 7?
$750.
Done. Whoa, scared you were gonna shoot me a look there, Scott.
No, I knew we were taking one home. I just didn't know what we were paying for it.
We're in the Funhouse business now. Scott's digging deep like a Labrador retriever. So I check out another container and I see the top of a head and the body of this guy is massive.
He came out of the Guinness Museum of World Records. Wow. At the time, he would have been modeled after the world's heaviest man.
He used to be the world's largest, heaviest man, but he retired because he no longer holds the record.
just too neat of a thing to throw out.
Let's take a look at him. Just come a little towards the door. Yeah, now straight out.
Look at the size of this guy. He's as big as a tree.
This is like big boy.
Yeah.
Got him up.
Yeah.
He's big, he's bold. What's not to like?
I could see a diet shop buying this and putting him outside as a little inspiration.
Do you have a sense of what you're looking for out of him?
Couple $100.
Couple $100?
Yep,
Gotta have him.
he's yours.
Can't leave home without
Oh,
him.
my Lord.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with this guy? Well, we're gonna have to send somebody to pick this baby up, Sheldon.
They are two of the most interesting people I ever met. They really know their stuff. They know what's got value and what's junk. That was pretty obvious today.
Ready?
Oh! Well, that's a beauty of a barrel. And the price was right.
If we're prepared to hold on to it instead of quick flipping it, we could triple out on that. Now we got that big pig to put in here too, don't we?
He is a big boy. It's about $1 a pound. Really good buy. I'm happy with that. Hey, Charlie, that was fantastic.
Thanks a lot, Charlie.
guys.
I can honestly say we've never bought anything anywhere like we bought today.
We all did well.
Today was a day for big stuff. The price was right on everything. I'm really pleased.
We found a couple fun things, didn't we?
Yeah, we'll do pretty well with the portly gentleman. I love Niagara Falls.
I do too.
It's like a big carnival here.
It really is.
So we're going to see Pat, who's got a whole restaurant full of stuff and 3 other outbuildings. Sounds like he could have some good stuff. He's all over the map. I think Pat's is just over here. This is going to be interesting. Let's go meet Pat.
Yeah.
Could use a coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the mother load.
Wow. Wow.
It's got to be the place.
Pat's got a lot of early Niagara Falls souvenirs, so I'm excited to see there is tons and tons of stuff.
The place is loaded. Never seen a restaurant looking quite like that before. Hey, are you Pat?
Yep, that's Simon.
Hey, Pat. I'm Sheldon.
Glad to meet you.
Scott, nice
Glad
to meet you.
Scott.
Yeah.
Glad to meet you.
You've been here for a while.
129 years in business. My grandmother started the restaurant in 1884. My father took over in 1901, and we've been here ever since.
Pat, is this the oldest restaurant in Niagara
It's
Falls?
the oldest restaurant in Niagara Falls and probably one of the oldest in Canada, I think.
Are those your serious prices?
The prices are right there, yeah. Everything you see is real in here.
You can get a full breakfast for about $3. I love this place.
Well, let's finish up our coffee, and then maybe we'll go take a look at the first warehouse over here.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got stuff in the restaurant, and it's spilling out into buildings beside.
Holy smokes. I'm not sure how you fill a place up so that you can't get the door open.
You gotta be a skinny guy to get in here, Pat.
And you gotta open it part way, slide in. Holy cow. Close the door so you can get all the way in. Oh, my Lord. There's nowhere to go.
Sorry, I'm wedged. I can't move. I can't move. I'm in a squeeze.
Let me push you. You can't go up, you can't go down, you can't go left, you can't go right. You can't go anywhere. Wow.
I don't have any trouble getting there.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
I've been in a lot of musty, moldy places, but that hit me in the face just like somebody slapping me.
I thought I'd seen it all, Scott, but this has to be the new pinnacle.
My father was a collector, and my brothers were collectors, and I'm a collector, and we had to put it somewhere.
It's like I'm in a goddamn lair, a spider's lair. Look at the spider webs.
Look at this mold. I saw National Geographics. They've grown together. Look at that.
Oh my God. Coming from your corner psychiatrist, it's okay. Throw them away. Nobody wants them.
I'm with Scott. And I didn't know he hung his shingle to be the corner psychologist. I'm happy to hear that.
Psychiatrist.
Oh, whoa.
Doctor of psychiatry, yeah. Look, it's a double panoramic.
Wow.
Turn of the century, double panoramic photo, 10 feet long, would have hung in the best hotel in town, worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. That is a true tragedy, and it's totaled. I was not giving up. sort of hoping I could do this without killing myself. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go left or right, so I did both. Oh, man, this is a hard one, this one. You know, the picker's creed, pick. If you die, you leave a beautiful corpse.
Hopefully not in the middle of a room like that.
Well, there's a nice picture. Bingo. It may still be okay. In amongst all the broken and stained and destroyed stuff, I did find a picture. It was an 1893 litho of a bunch of famous horses.
Do you remember putting that in there?
Yep, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's good 40 years ago anyways.
So what would you want for this little guy? Seeing as I dragged him all the way from the back.
$100.
Holy smokes!
Well, I think it's a very unusual picture, seeing 10 horses in one picture taken in 1893 and printed in 1893.
We're not leaving the best thing we've seen all day.
You tell me then.
I was gonna say 20.
20?
Well, it's all water stained.
Okay.
20?
$20.
Let's shake on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I think what we're gonna do, maybe see what we can find in the shop.
Okay, well, lots of stuff over there to look at.
Okay.
Lots of stuff in the restaurant.
That'll be easy to look at.
This is where he goes to work every day, and he likes to surround himself with things he likes to look at.
That's where the good stuff's gonna be.
Yeah. I grabbed these from the other room. I'll just bring them in here. Wow, you've got some great stuff in here. Pat's got tons of stuff, including a lot of early Niagara Falls souvenirs. Panorama of Niagara Falls.
Yeah. This little fella goes over the falls in 1960 and lives.
The kid that went over in the life jacket? But look what was underneath what you just picked up. Another nice old Niagara Falls souvenir. Oh, look at this. Indian nymph going over the falls in a canoe.
There's some interesting paper products and photos and that sort of thing. Scott, do you remember when I won the wrestling championship?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how my belt ended up here, but...
Yeah. He says he's got some military stuff.
And I got a million buttons and thimbles and things to do with sewing.
There's your standard medals. First World War, this is medals everybody pretty much got.
This is an accumulation. Didn't come from one place, it came from dozens. Some of the pieces were sterling silver war medallions, interesting hat badges, military buttons. We were interested in buying it as a whole, complete bundle.
There's your Purple Heart.
That was quite an achievement, wasn't it, to win a
Purple Heart
Purple
was
Heart?
to get shot. He got injured. So what would you sell everything that you got here for?
Everything here on the table would just say $5,000.
That's what you think it's worth?
It's worth more than that.
About twice what I'd like to pay?
This here's a genuine article on every piece.
I agree with you there. I mean, not every piece, but most of
Every
them
piece there is genuine, I guarantee it. They're very rare buttons and pins and the badges, and you're never going to see them again in Canadian history, eh?
I think I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, refill my coffee, and then I got a proposition for you.
I've seen Scott wheel and deal so many times, I could tell you his moves blindfolded. It's magic, really, and it usually mystifies me and the guy we're buying the stuff from.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
I knew you were serious today, but I didn't know you were going to war.
I got a feeling, given this first price, we are definitely going to war.
Yeah.
What we'd like to pay, I think, is $1,000. That's what we'd like to pay.
A grand?
Yeah.
No.
You gave Pat a smile, though.
Yeah,
that put a smile on your face, Pat.
I don't want to sell them at that price because I'll be giving them away.
What price would you sell them at where you would feel
Well,
good?
I would say $5,000 for what
Yeah, I think we're way, we're so far beyond.
I value it all pretty highly, you know.
This is one of the toughest negotiations I've ever done.
And I know I can sell this anytime I want to, and not at your prices.
This guy ain't budging. It's the United Nations, and it's the two-state solution. Let's talk about it for several decades and come up to an impasse. But you gotta know when to hold them.
Yeah.
And you know when to hold them, Pat, and I know when to fold them. So fellas, good luck, and Scott, don't spend too much of my money. 'Cause I'm out.
I'm not sure I can figure Pat out on this. He's on Pluto, and I'm on Earth. Sheldon is hitching a ride back to Calgary. Well, why don't we do this? Figure out what your bottom line price is, throw it back to me, and we'll either shake on it or we won't.
Say $4,500.
I think we're a little too far apart, but
yeah.
you know what? I appreciate you
yeah.
showing it to me. I don't want to leave without buying something, so I look around the room like a wounded animal, and I see the doctor's bag. Wow. It's got all his medicines in it. There's some of your tools of the trade. Oh, is that ever pretty? These are probably morphine ampules. What do you want for your doctor's bag?
$200. That's what it cost me.
$200.
Yeah.
I'm used to dealing with guys that want way too much for their stuff.
I don't think you have any problem selling any of that.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you your $200 and you throw me these two boxes in.
No way, no way.
I dug these out of the side room.
No way. I'll give you that box. That was in our store.
Okay, we'll do $200 on that. I'm in pain, but I got some morphine.
We're gonna part as friends. We'll take that badge with you as a gift. I'll give you that as a gift.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Well, the rare pin, there's no question about that. I would have sold that pin for $100.
Scott walks out smiling like a Cheshire cat.
Look what I got.
Hey, he's got his little doctor's bag. He's got his horse picture.
James, please take my things.
Here, I'm a pack-up guy.
And I've got my doorman to put it in the truck for me. Doorman, not doormat.
Same thing.
You got a bargain there.
Maybe we should get some vaccinations before we head out for a pick.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll grab the doctor's bag and I'll give you a vaccination.
I like showing them around, and they were very hospitable and very knowledgeable, and we got along pretty good. Bye, and thanks for coming.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks very much, Pat.
Thanks,
nice
Pat.
to meet you.
See you later.
All right, take care.
Okay.
I'm so happy Dr. Scott is ready to hit the road for another house call.
That little thing with the morphine will sell for more money than I paid for the whole thing.
If we don't get busted on the way home.
And if I don't use it.
Yeah. Hey, isn't this like the Las Vegas of the North?
Yeah, cheesier than Las Vegas, and it's hard to be cheesier than Las Vegas, I'll tell you.
A lot of pawn shops in Las Vegas.
Right, and there's a bunch of casinos here too, so if we see a pawn shop, I wouldn't mind taking a look, because I think 12 million people a year come through here, and
Every
a few
once
of
in
them
a while.
pawn something. There's a pawn shop over there, Niagara Falls Pawnbroker.
Let's go check this place out.
Wait for me, you. Hey, oh yeah, this is a pawn shop.
It's just jammed to the rafters.
Wow. Look at that.
Welcome, guys.
Hi, my name's Scott.
Nice to meet you, Scott. My name is Hi.
Hi. I'm Sheldon.
Nice to meet you, Sheldon.
You've heard that before, haven't
Yeah, all the time, guys. Doesn't bother me a bit.
Glad you said that.
So what brings you guys to our shop?
We're picking in this area, so we thought we'd stop in. I love a pawn shop. I check them out wherever I can. They've usually got 90% junk, but 10% things I want to see, and this one's no different.
We care a little bit of everything, right? You never know what you're gonna get. That's why I love this business so much. It was a family business. My parents started it off. Every day is different. You get to see a lot of different items, but a lot of different customers as well. There's a sign on the back that says the People's Bank, and that's how we feel.
Just look at the scotch.
Yeah, we got some pretty cool scotch. Some of the stuff like the John Walker, very, very rare bottle, guys. Only 330 made.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So a couple things about this, guys.
Nice box.
Beautiful box, comes apart.
It's like burled maple,
Like
isn't
this?
it, Shell?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Everyone knows Johnny Walker. This is the John Walker. I think only 6 came to Canada. The gold is 24 karat gold.
That is really an interesting item.
And then you got your own private crystal cork for
Oh,
it.
right.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's very special because most of the people that'll buy them will be restaurants, etc. That, you know, they'll charge people 120 to 200 bucks just for a little taste.
So what would a bottle like that cost? Because the box looks like it's worth a couple $100.
The bottle retails for 6,000.
6,000?
Yeah.
What'd you get it for? That's what I want to know.
Only paid 3,000 for this.
You step up, man. Let's keep looking around.
Holy smokes, you got stock.
My philosophy is volume, volume, volume. The more we take in, the more we can sell. That's the way to make business.
Shell, you see anything you like?
I was hoping to find a watch, perhaps. When I think pawn shops, I think jewelry.
Any watches here that have gone over the falls in a barrel?
Not that I can say. Watch was always a big thing in my family.
There's some big bling right there, though.
Yeah, this actually has an interesting story to it, guys. This was actually brought over by a Toronto rapper. I won't say his name, but a watch like this was $12,000 retail. He had a bad day at the casino, and he brought it in, and he did it on a buyback, and unfortunately, he never came back for it.
$1,200?
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, but it looks flashy, doesn't it?
It looks flashy,
Yeah,
very
that's
flashy,
funny.
yeah.
Do you have anything that's really vintage?
Not a bad Gruen. Where'd I see
Is
it
that
here?
it? That looked like an older one.
18 karat gold. This is at least 1966.
So what would that sell for, the Gruen?
Something like this we would sell for $250.
That's a pretty good price. How much of that $250 is gold? Is it 50 bucks?
This would weigh roughly about 12 grams. So in the $400 range.
In gold?
Gold,
So
yes.
you're paying less for the watch than you are for the gold? Why wouldn't you just melt it?
Because it's a very special watch, right? And we like to have a little bit of variety here.
A guy can only wear one watch at a time, and I just as soon keep the one I've got on right now and invest the $250 in something else.
We've got a huge selection of gold.
If somebody pawned something
Yeah.
a year ago and it was gold, do your prices reflect that you bought it a year ago?
We buy and sell everything at the price of gold.
So if it goes up, you're in
goes
good
up,
shape.
our
If it
price
goes
goes
bad,
up.
down
Hey,
you're
this
in
has
bad
been a good
shape.
year for you.
It has.
Hi is my kind of pawn shop operator. He understands where the market is. He knows he's going to be able to move gold and silver right now with the prices. He's a smart man. Let's keep looking around.
Oh, beautiful.
Hey, look at this. Wow.
What's going on with the Superman suit?
Well, the Superman suit was actually worn by Marlon Brando in the first Superman.
Wasn't expecting to see Marlon Brando's Superman outfit.
Christopher Reeve's suits, you know, there was actually quite a few of them. Marlon Brando only had 2 suits, a black one and a white one. And for us to have one of them, it's just phenomenal. The white one sold in New York last December for $56,000.
Really?
Whoa. So what's this one worth?
Well, we sell it for $12,000.
12,000.
Yeah. We've had people come in, offer $6,000, $7,000. It's just a phenomenal piece.
Do you have a change room? Because I can see Scott wants to try this one on.
Yeah, I'm sure I look really good in Halloween in that outfit. But I ain't paying 12,000 bucks for it.
That's not an image I want to think about either.
A bit rich for our blood to make money on it, but I do want to dig through a couple other things in here. Whoa, is that a beaut?
Yeah.
The nice thing about this banjo is the inlays on it.
That's pimpy, there's no question about it. What's the story on the guitars that are up the top?
The guitars, we get in all the time. We move them quick and we have them priced to sell.
Anytime you hit upon a pawn shop, you always find guitars because everyone gets a bit of cash in their pocket, buys a guitar, falls on hard times, pawns the guitar, thinks they're gonna get it back, never does. That's a Canadian manufacturer, Larry.
Yeah, Larrabee. Very good, very underrated.
Sitka spruce with rosewoods on the side. Beautiful.
What a playing guitar. I've been looking for a Larrabee guitar in a garage sale, a flea market, or a pawn shop for 25 years and haven't seen one. Wow, that's a beautiful guitar. What would that sell for?
The condition is like 10 out of 10. It's mint. We would sell that guitar for $750.
I'm thinking seriously about that guitar because I may have a buyer for it.
You guys are big on guitars?
Well, I am.
Yeah, we got a room full of guitars right over there, guys.
That's a beautiful one. What year is the Gibson?
It's 2009.
Right, so it's a new one. It's got a tiger stripe on it. It's fabulous, but those sell for about $3,700, $3,800 new. He's got $1,800 on that. Now that's slightly smaller than your standard SG. That's almost like an SG Junior, that one, because it doesn't weigh anything compared to a regular SG. The SG's got no price, so I'm not really sure where he's coming from on the SG.
The SG I could do for $900.
Ow, that hurts. I'm so tempted. I think you quoted a real fair price on the Larrabee. But I was hoping the SG was closer to $400 and we'd be able to do $1,000 and take the two of them away. That was my thinking. He's a little pained by that, I can tell.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. You know what? We like to move product here, so I could do $11.50 for you. That's a very good price.
It's very tempting. And at that point in time, he's given me 50. I can tell that right now. 1,100?
You got a deal.
Done. Hey, he knows when to hold them and he knows when to fold them and he knows way better to get out of those guitars and get the money into something else. Does it come with a case?
It does.
Beautiful.
Scott got a very good price, but at the same time, we made a very good profit off it.
He's happy, and I'm happy when he's happy. Hey, well, that's all right.
They're reasonably equally balanced, you know.
Nice to meet you. Next time we're in town, we'll come by.
It'll be a totally different store. Every week's different, guys.
And as you can see, my hands are full. Sheldon, shake for me, too.
Yeah.
Double shake.
Thanks a lot.
Have a safe trip back.
This was a great day for us. Never had a chance to buy a Larrabee before. I got two great guitars for less than the price of one good guitar. I want to get out of here before High changes his mind. Don't look back. Drive. That was great. I got a surprise for you. I tracked down Jim Conklin.
Conklin shows?
Exactly. Sent him some photos of the Fat Man.
The Conklin Carnival traveled across Canada, including our part of the world, always came to the Calgary Stampede.
So he's a good guy to have appraised the Fat Man.
Yeah.
Hi, Jim, is that you?
Yes, it's me.
Can you tell us about the Fat Man?
It's too big to move on a carnival, so I think it was part of a museum-type attraction on Niagara Falls.
Exactly. Hey, Jim, any idea of a value of that Fat Man?
Would you have a sense of what you're looking for out of him?
Couple $100.
Gotta have him.
What we came up with was between somewhere around $1,000 to $1,500 for the Fat Man.
Excellent. That's great. Well, Jim, thanks a lot for your help on that.
Nice talking to you, gentlemen.
Okay, you
Thanks,
too, Jim. That was good news on the Fat Man.
Hey, I'm happy with that.
Let's go.
We're a few minutes out of Niagara Falls at a place called Jordan Station. We're going to see the two Burns. Burn Senior, Burn Junior.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we don't get burned. So what do the Burnses do?
They've set up a soda shop and a general store on their property, but not for the public. It's just their private collection.
Oh, this has got to be it.
Yeah.
There we are. There's a bike over there.
Yeah.
Off in the distance, I saw a whizzer. And not very many people have whizzers in their front yard. Hey, you must be Vern.
I'm the old one.
I was going to say, are you junior or seniors?
Hey, Vern, I'm Sheldon.
Sheldon, that's junior.
Hey.
Hey.
So you guys have been collecting for a while.
I've been buying and selling for pretty close to 30.
Right.
You just said the key thing, selling.
Show us what you're selling.
Yeah. Wow. You got some projects in here.
Yeah.
There's stuff stacked up high. You got a little bit of everything here.
Yeah. I collect a variety of things, toys and service station, general store memorabilia, soda fountain items.
Hey, I was just admiring the old wagon though. Wow, what a beauty. What would the value be of an old wagon?
Restored, it would likely be up in around the 35, 40,000 range.
Is that right?
I started buying cars when I was 19, and that's my main interest, is anything up to about 1960, 61.
What's this all about?
Well, they used to use that to chivalry newlyweds.
Chivalry, is that from around here?
Well, it's Ontario, I've heard of it. I don't know about out west. In the 20s, I'm going to say 30s, when they were married a week or two, they were settled in. They'd all get shotguns and these noisemakers, and in the middle of the night they'd go, wake them up, and they wouldn't quit the noise until they invited them in.
Can I give it a roll?
Oh, yeah, it'll...
I'm thinking I could take that to the Flames game, and they score a lot of goals, so repeatedly I could be shivering.
I'll shiver you, all right.
It's quite unique, some of my restoration projects.
Will you restore the tandem?
It's possible.
Depends how long we live.
Unfortunately, it's just a little too rough for any buyer we might have.
And what about the Harley fridge?
It needs a dryer put in to keep it working right, so it needs...
A lot of it needs repair. It's in the rough and a little too rough for us in some cases.
I like the Red Indian, but it's just bead. What would you want out of it?
That guy was hoping to get somewhere around 30 bucks out of it range. You know, it's a decorative piece for the shelf, but not good enough for collector value.
Right. I'm seeing a lot of things that are, you know, they're sort of purgatory. They're not heaven and they're not hell, but they're right in the middle.
So where are we off to this building right here, I bet?
At the back of the property, there's a 800 square foot building that's got my own collection of the restored and original pieces.
Let's see what we can find in there and maybe we can talk you into selling it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fighting to get a bunch of stuff today. But hopefully if we step up and pay a top dollar, we'll get something good.
Oh, wow.
This is the collection room and
Little general store.
General store, soda fountain, automotive.
Holy cow! It's a bit like walking back in time to the 50s. I love country store stuff in particular, so that's where my eye was taken. Oh, I see something I love. That's for me though, Sheldon. Gymnastic action. I always had a soft spot for cheesecake stuff. Would you sell me that?
That one I think I'm gonna hang on to just because it's pretty unique. Good design, I know. It's a lightweight.
Oh, and can I ask you about this sled here?
It's hard to find those.
All done up, but you said...
That's original. That's all original paint. It's still got an original price tag on the back of it.
Yeah. Is that something you'd part with, Bern?
Not that one. That's the best known example of an original one, and it's kind of a unique piece.
What's the story on these circus rides?
They're scale models that a guy built, modeled after Crystal Beach Amusement Park.
Oh, just down the road again.
Yeah.
All right. Check these out, Scott.
Underneath here is all lights and paintings all underneath here. There's
he did a
hundreds of light bulbs. Like there was just hours of work to build them.
He did a remarkable job.
Wow, they're great, aren't they?
The fellow that made them had done them to scale, just wonderful things. I'm scared to ask, what would you want for the 4 of them?
Around 4,000 or more.
I'm glad you said that, because if it had been cheaper, we would have been tempted.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Great little pieces of folk art, and at $1,000 a piece, it's not outrageous, but it's this market where you're gonna get the big money for them, not where we're going.
I love this optometrist sign, the real eye catcher.
Wow. For me, that's a key piece. The base is typical of pieces they made from the turn of the century right up to the 40s. The glass on that one's slightly thicker than you would have on a later piece.
And I thought for sure this is the best thing in here. This is not going to be for sale. Is that something you'd part with, Bern?
Probably going to hang on to that one. That's the only one I've seen like that.
Does that mean that if we offered you a good price, you'd consider selling it?
It's possible. It'd have to be a pretty good price.
What would a pretty good price be?
Likely more than you're willing to pay, but I would think it would have to be in the $300 range.
Done.
All right, now we've broken the ice. Is that something you'd sell?
Yeah.
What would you want for that?
50 bucks out of that.
Would you say 40?
Yeah.
Sheldon and I have been doing this long enough together that when I do a bang and he does a bang, I go right for the next. We just keep it going in rapid fire. What about your elephant gin sign? It's 1920s, great piece of advertising, has some damage on the side, but when you put it in an oak frame, you'll never see that.
Need to get 40 bucks out of that.
Done. I can't get my hand out quick enough at that price. We walk out the door and both of us go straight for the Whizzer. I love Whizzers.
Want to part with your Whizzer?
Can't do that. That's why I drive. That's my transportation.
I haven't seen one running for a while. I wouldn't mind owning one of those myself.
I thought you were pulling our leg, but you do ride this all the time, don't you? Not for sale is not for sale as much as we like it. What about these two? Would you part with either of them Roadmasters?
You likely wouldn't want to pay what I paid for that red one.
The red one was a killer. It was a Roadmaster. That was a Pee Wee Herman bike all the way.
Yeah.
It had that great 50s look, and the condition was really, really good. Whoa.
Put a little too much torque just before I was going to do a few tricks on it. Have to wait for another time. Do I own it or just the chain?
I'm glad for once you got on the bike.
Now there's a discount involved, right?
Well, not much.
Yeah.
$450 for it.
$450, okay. I didn't want to leave the bike because it's the coolest bike I've seen in a long time, but I didn't want to have $450 into it either. We got a little proposition, but we want to walk back through a couple rooms because there's a couple little things we saw along the way.
Okay.
I kind of like the produce sign.
Lights up and works.
Yeah.
Retro colors.
That's a good item. Transformer.
That'd be a good sign for somebody. Okay. So if we were to do all of this stuff, what would your best price be if we did all of it? Sharpen that pencil.
Yeah. The trade sign and the red Indian can, the produce sign, the suitcase and that. I'd be looking at probably around $650 for the package deal. Is the bottom price and everything.
I was going to say, why not $600 for the whole package?
I'll go with that. So we'll give you a deal on it.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
That was some good negotiating.
To get that optometrist sign, that's a good early piece of store advertising. The gin signs with essentially Jumbo the elephant, that's $150 any day of the week. To get the bike, to get some throw-ins, giving him what he wanted out of the bike, but getting a good deal on the other stuff. I mean, that's a pretty good day of picking for us.
We'll have to split the money up between us now and see who gets the better deal here. Usually he wins.
Hey,
fellas.
Good to see you.
Little Burn and Big Burn, that was great.
That was great.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Take it easy. Have a safe trip.
We're driving away now with a whole bunch of stuff, and they're good items. We'll make money on all of them. Never picked from a guy named Byrne before. All of a sudden, we did a double header.
I've definitely never picked from two guys named Byrne. There's actually a little Hall of Fame over by Niagara Falls where they talk about everybody that's gone over the falls, how many have lived, how many have died. The fundamental premise that we operate on in society that is flawed is that all people are created equal.
Where are you going with that one, Scott?
Well, because I've come to the conclusion a lot of people are really dumb.
Scott!